batteries on this bloody thing.
User joined your channel.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
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 Good evening.
Damn it, missed. Wrong one.
Are you guys in game?
Yeah, we're just throwing grenades around. Got a resupply thing set up beside the buildings over the back.
Yeah, I tried a server earlier on, and I just got raped every
Right
time
down
I
the window.
spawned.
When, Smoke?
About an hour ago.
How so? Like, what situation did you find you were having a hard time?
There were people who don't just camp spawning.
Ah, yeah, not what could be done about that.
Yeah, but I threw grenades and I threw smokes. I went in about 15 times just to fuck them off.
Yeah, they'll do it.
And apart from that, I sent everyone a Christmas card, so everything's fine. Are you in training server or?
We are.
Yep.
I tell you what, since I moved, I've got one monitor. Before I moved, I had three, so it's hard to follow TeamSpeak.
Oh, sorry, let's go. You weren't anywhere near that. Yeah, I couldn't cope with less than 2 screens.
Yeah, I had three. I've got one, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm stuffed.
I've got to use a Mac at work, and it's one of the silly little ones, so I just have to have another screen for it.
Are you just clowning around in there?
Cleaning around is a bit strong. We're very accurately practicing grenade training.
Serious work.
Yeah.
There's walls in there.
You come here and you try and hit some of these windows that we're hitting first time.
Yeah, there's walls in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Hey, Vask, did you tell the guys that I actually got behind walls the other night and shot his ass off? No, obviously not.
Okay, Bootnet, call a window.
Top left.
Top left. Oh, way too high.
Well, it was top left, just not necessarily the window. Right. Go on then, you call one for me.
Right hand window, second one across. Top.
What, the right hand side of the building?
You're right hand side of the building, second one from the edge.
Second one from the edge.
Spot on. Your turn, cool one.
Bottom middle. To the left of the door.
Ah, hold on.
Oh, something went through. There we go. See, I get some more grenades. Oh, not close enough. Let's try bottom left. Bottom right. God, we're getting good at this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Building over there.
Guys are working too hard.
Bearing 210. Second window from the left.
Second window from the left eye.
Not quite far enough for me.
Ah, I miss.
Second window
It
from
was a
the left.
bloody close miss.
Let's try. Don't know if I can get it that far. Nah, it's not thrown far enough.
Okay, I'll go for door.
Go for the same window. Yes. Oh, thought that first one was mine. It wasn't.
Okay, red house. Second red house from the left. Sorry, second. Do the second from the right, first on the left.
Second from the right, first on the left.
Not quite straight, that one.
Let's try door. Yeah. Let's try the wee garden shed next to the fence.
Oh, nice.
Second, what? One on the left, one on the right.
Oh, the one next to the fence, the one with the grenade just went off. Oh.
Right, that's going to be just about 50 metres. Oh, put the fence post on the way through.
Oh, good one. See, I'd like to see those sheds blowing up.
You get the bits of wood flying off them.
Yeah, but
Not
they're
properly
still in one
destroyed,
piece when the smoke goes.
Are you on desert rats or training?
though. Training.
Training.
Right.
Okay. In through the window to the left of this big building in front of us. And the little, like, outhouse.
Right.
This one. Watch where it goes. Ooh, that was close.
Oh, that one there.
Straight through. Okay.
No, back over the top.
Leave me something to throw at.
Definitely throws flatter than I'm expecting.
If we can put this through both windows.
Hit the windowsill and came off. Should have brought the supply trailer closer.
I don't think you can hit this building over here.
What one?
Look over the smoke.
Over there.
Hang on.
And actually,
Smokes are clear. There we go. Up. There you go.
out. Also, you can't get this upstairs window because there's things in it.
No, I just put a grenade through it.
No, sorry, the one over here.
All right, hang on. Get an angle on it.
No, it's got glass in it or something. Oh, that one up there.
This one?
Yeah, I was trying it from a tight angle.
Is it a window or is it blocked up?
There's a window in there.
Yeah.
But I can't tell if it's blocked up. I threw quite a
There
lot
you go.
in there.
No. Hit the windowsill again.
Oh, smoke. Oh, bloody hell. Gammon bomb. Thank you. And another one.
No. Can't get the angle.
Ah, there's smoke coming.
Oh, 8:05. We starting?
Absolutely. I was just waiting for smoke to come in through. It just joined in.
That's alright. I'll restart the server. We've got 22 minutes left.
Yeah, give it a restart. Actually, it's not a bad idea.
Right, okay.
And if we want to set up a squad with medics,
Match. Restart.
Yeah, they must be boarded up.
What's the objective, guys?
so I'm running a quick training session over a few general computer gaming stuff. Sort of general skills that are useful in all computer games. And then, if we've got time, moving on to some smoke-specific stuff and room clearing and that sort of things.
Oh, it's really pissing down at the moment.
Oh, here, mate. It's very, very sunny.
No, it's chucking it down here.
Sunny? That's in the southern hemisphere.
Oh, come on, reload, man.
Liverpool is dark, windy, and wet.
Yeah.
Kent is no rain, lots of dark, and it's quite nice.
It's interesting living in a steel box when the rain hits the roof. You know about it.
Rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat.
Yeah, change your boat, mate. Change your boat.
And in Barcelona, it's raining like hell.
Barcelona, yeah.
Yes.
Do you want us to join any particular section or spawn in or anything, Miller?
Not particularly. Doesn't really matter what you got. Decent to have a rifle. But, I mean, it's worth having medics just in case we need each other.
I'll go
Some of the
medic.
stuff we will hurt each other.
I'll go
Yeah, I'll
medic
bring a
then.
medic.
Come here, stay usted.
¿Alguien has dicho algo?
Come on, come here, stay usted.
Who am I? I don't understand.
So I'll record this anyway and stick it on Discord tomorrow. If that's okay with you, Miller?
Yeah, of course, mate. Did you want me to record it as well? No, I don't care.
No,
I was
I'm
gonna
just,
record it now, so that's fine.
Just trying a few things out. I haven't got to the streaming part yet, just to record.
Yeah, no worries. So, first thing that's worth talking about is actually setting up your computer in a decent way. The obvious things that it's probably worth calling out that do sometimes get forgotten are your mouse settings. So one of the obvious things is making sure you have acceleration off in Windows.
Hang on, the what setting?
The what?
On your mouse settings, you have to turn off acceleration.
That's in the mouse settings, did you say?
Yeah, it's in the mouse setting in Windows.
Hang on, just make sure that's off. It should be off.
Control panel, mouse. Where's my mouse?
Settings.
Oh, there it's mouse. Whereabouts is it?
Device. Should be under
Acceleration.
devices, my mouse.
Oh,
Additional mouse option.
I'm in the mouse properties. Is that the wrong one?
Let me have a look.
I've got smoothing, sensitivity, and
Wheel.
sensitivity.
Hardware.
If you just search mouse, it comes up as mouse system settings.
Mouse system.
Hang on, I can't find an accelerate.
I went into the control panel and just clicked on mouse.
So if you click on mouse settings, and then underneath you've got related settings,
Mouse set. That one.
additional mouse options,
Yep, got
Oh,
that.
no, that's click lock.
and then you got at the top of the little box that pops up, you've got buttons, pointers, pointer options,
Yep.
turn off, enhance pointer precision.
Turn off.
Yeah, you don't want it ticked.
Yeah, already unticked.
I'm not getting any of that.
Windows 10?
Not-
No, I'm on Windows 7.
That'd be control panel mouse.
Yeah, I've got buttons, pointers, pointer options, wheel, hardware.
Tab at the top, you'll have another
No,
movement, is it?
No, I've got a click lock, if that means anything. And when
No,
I
you don't
click
know.
on that, it brings up another settings.
Basically, when it's got your moving speed of your mouse,
Oh,
on
yeah.
there's an enhanced pointer precision, and you want that turned off.
I haven't got anything like that on mine. It's just
Okay,
got
cool.
slow to fast, and it's in the middle.
That's fine then.
Yeah.
Also, your in-game sensitivity. Most people have it far too sensitive. You can probably reduce it to about 50% and you'll be fine.
Oh, right. Mouse sensitivity. Got mine on a button on the mouse. Swap from. Right. Settings.
Mouse.
User disconnected from your channel.
Got global sensitivity, free look sensitivity,
Just do global sensitivity.
global. It's on 1, so you're saying 50%, yeah?
Yeah, put it on 50. Play with that for a bit. See how you get on.
0.05.
Okay.
0.05 set. I'll do the same for free look sensitivity as well.
Free look, it doesn't hurt because actually you want to move quite quickly when you free look.
Yep.
But when you're aiming down sights, you want to be able to have very fine control over movement.
Oh, well, I'm lucky. I've got a sniper button on my,
Right,
my mouse.
no, that is way. Hang on.
Yeah, so that'll take you. That does the same thing basically.
Whoa, that is far too slow for me.
I mean, you'll have individual configuration of your mouse settings as well, so make sure it's a reasonable point. But
I found out the price. 0.05, not 0.5.
that sounds very small. But yeah, if that works for you.
No, that's why I couldn't move the bloody thing. Well, that's better.
Yeah, that's very
Yeah,
reasonable.
I must admit, I mean, I'm not using the sniper button, and when I changed it to 50%, it's not far off what I would get using the sniper button. You know, it's more, it's sort of steadier, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
When I was playing sort of semi-professional Counter-Strike, we used to set up, I'm talking 10, 12 years ago now, we had it set up so that you could very quickly turn to look behind you. But the days of having very high sensitivity are over, and actually it's better to have much lower sensitivity because your long-distance shots, you've got a smaller movement when you zoom in.
Yeah, and free look also covers looking through the iron sight, and that was actually a problem. FIR of it. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it seems to slow, you know, it's...
You get very,
0.5,
very
0.5.
fine movements when you're looking down sights now. You have an awful lot of control
Yeah, I mean,
over exactly where you're aiming.
I'm standing up, and it's hardly moving at all.
Yep.
What's it like prone?
And you've still got a decent range of movement. I guess you've got a pretty big mouse map like most people have these days.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
move whatsoever when I'm on pro. That's brilliant. Oh, thanks for that, Miller.
Yeah, no worries.
It's great.
It's a thing that kind of everyone assumes that they've always set up games like this, but But unless someone actually calls it out and says, have you looked at this and done this recently, then do that. And also play around with it, like play like this for a week. If you find that a lot of the time you're struggling to turn around to see stuff, then change it up, move it up a bit, move it down a bit.
No, honestly, that is perfect.
And
the difference it's made because I've also got the mouse set for the sniper, and the sniper, you're moving over absolute tiny increments.
Oh, shit, sorry, mate.
That wasn't me.
That was me, my mistake. Pressed the wrong button.
Headshot, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I was trying to see how accurately I could look.
I'm standing up, I've just pressed the sniper button, and it ain't moving at all. That's brilliant, that.
So if you think about, if you've got someone looking over the top of something, or a very small amount of body to try and hit in a window or something, that really gives you an advantage. And most of the time that's when you need the accuracy. I mean, if you're turning to shoot someone who's close, it's not going to matter. You can still do that sort of quarter of a turn, half a turn. If you really want to, you could probably shoot behind you just as easily.
Does it help? Does it help any if you've been running? You know how when you're running, you're all over the place. Does that slow it down a wee bit?
It doesn't slow it down.
Let's try it.
But you'll have more control over it.
Not joking. 5 shots at 300 yards, 5 targets down. That'll do nicely.
Also, something I was going to demonstrate, but I can't now because you've all been shooting, was as soon as you start the game, as soon as you respawn, reload, because you always get an extra bullet.
God.
Because when you spawn in, it loads with 1 in the chamber, and however many it is in the gun. So as soon as you reload straight away, you get the 1 in the chamber and the full reload. So you always get 1 extra bullet.
Hang on, if we discharge 9 rounds, which means there'll be 1, can we do it again?
No, because the next time you reload, it'll be from empty, so you'll get back to 8 or whatever the normal amount was.
Right. Otherwise, we'll only load 6.
Yeah. So
We'll
just
load
that
6 in the
first
weapon.
time.
Yep.
As soon as you spawn in, reload, you've got an extra bullet to play with. Can make the difference. Another thing worth mentioning is if you do have the option, always use a wired internet connection, never use wireless. Wireless introduces higher ping and lag. It's not as bad as it used to be, and I know some people can't get around that, but if you do have the option of the two things, don't use wireless, use wired.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I've got to use a wireless modem because I can't run cables all the way along the floor of the boat.
Yeah, that's fine. And actually, the days of that making a huge difference are behind us. Wireless technology is super fast these days. So while we're talking about these sorts of things, can you all press tab and look at server health?
Right, tab, server health, 51 TPS.
Yep, do you all see that?
Yep.
Do you know what TPS means?
No, something per second.
Oh, very good. Yeah, it's ticks per second. So that means the server does 51 lots of calculations every second.
Mine's is just showing green.
Yeah, see, someone else said this last night that they didn't actually see TPS.
No, it just shows green under server health.
There's obviously a setting for it somewhere. Anyway, so what that means is 50 times a second the computer does a calculation, the server, so wherever this is hosted, does a calculation of every single object within the entire map. So that means every single player, where they are, where they're looking, every single bullet, where it is, where it's travelling, every single object, the inventory, how much is inventory, how much infantry you've got, and all this sort of stuff. And that happens 50 times a second. So
Right.
I'd say this was a 50-tick server. The more stuff you have loaded, the lower that number is. Now, the reason that's important is, say, for example, you're running at 10 ticks. That means it was doing 10 calculations a second. If you're firing 50 bullets a second, effectively 5 of those bullets are travelling as a single bullet. Because the computer is only calculating that 10 times a second. And if you've got 50 bullets a second coming out, the computer can't distinguish between them.
Does that mean that one bullet will hit with the strength of 5, or 4 of them are not worth a damn?
It depends. It depends how the server's coded around that. They'll be clever about doing that. I guess they would count all 5, but travelling as a single particle.
Which means they'll hit with the force of 5.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right, yep.
Next thing, ping. Do you know what ping is?
Yeah.
What that means?
Quick look.
See, sort of the speed of your connection, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's the ping. It's the time it takes us a single ping come from your computer, hit the server, and return.
That's right. Yeah, and that's in milliseconds. So that means that if the server's doing 50 calculations a second, there's effectively a 20 ping naturally with the server.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you've got a ping higher than that, so a couple of you on 60 at the moment, that means the server's doing 2 calculations between the time your packet leaves from your computer and comes back again. Now the reason this is important is that your client, your computer, and the server do clever calculations between them to try and predict what's happening. Because they make these calculations between each other, often the reality of what you see on screen isn't exactly the same as the server thinks is happening. And you can take this to your advantage. So there's certain things called Peeker's advantage. Peeker's advantage basically means if you're the person engaging and the person moving, you have an advantage over the person who's stationary. Common across computer games. Some computer games it's a massive difference. Sometimes it's a small difference. You often hear PUBG talking about this extensively. Escape from Tarkov recently went through a phase when there was a huge advantage to the person looking first. So, how do we take advantage of this?
We move while we're firing.
Yeah, move when you're firing, but also if we make our way over to some of the buildings over here, I'll show you how we can use that to take down things that you shouldn't be able to do, really. Basically, if you're in a built-up area where you're looking at someone in a window, for example, say, for example, there's a MG gunner set up in one of the windows over here in the building.
Right.
Okay, and we'll use this one as an example in front of us. So, let's say there's an MG gunner set up in that right-hand window. So they're busy laying down all hell. If you can hide behind something, like this nice gun behind us here. Actually, I think you went to go the other side to see that window. Okay, you can hide in the position here where the MG gunner can't shoot you. Now, if you know where he is and in what window, you can have a quick look, aim, and move back. Never take the shot. Then, all you've got to do is very quickly lean out to the right spot and get the shot off. A bit like this. Okay? So that's out, shoot, and back again. The person who's in the MG spot will be dead before they see you look out.
I can't see that.
Okay.
And that's something to practice. So if you're running around and you suddenly say, oh, you suddenly spot someone in a particular window, hide, get your gun lined up best you can where you think it is, get to a position where you can pop out, take the shot, and lean back in again. Super, super, super advantage over the person. Yeah. Even if they're a sniper, even if they've got that particular part zoomed in and they know exactly where you are, there's a very high chance you'll kill them before they even see you.
Yeah, good. I come round the corner, fire quickly, note where exactly my shot was, adjust the rifle foresight slightly while I'm standing up, and then lean out on the basis it's going to put the next round either higher, lower, left or right where it was the first time.
Yeah, so basically you do your aiming when you're not looking at it.
Yeah. Ooh.
Which is a neat little trick. There's also something called pre-firing. I've not really tested this too much in Postscriptum, but I know certainly in something like Counter-Strike it has a massive advantage. So if we go into the room building over here,
Roger.
I'll show you what I mean. So pre-firing is shooting a spot before you can see it. And the reality is you end up hitting them very, very close together. So say for example I'm coming in here,
Yep.
and I'm expecting someone to be sat in that corner over there. Okay, well that bullet shot's gone.
Yep.
As I come in, I'm expecting a player to be there. So as I come in, I'm just going to go and fire straight away. Oh, I've got another bit close to the wall there. That's something else I was going to talk about. So just as I'm coming in, like that.
Yep.
Don't even look to see if they're there. Just shoot automatically. Now, post-scripting, you're limited because you've got the rifle. There's a certain limited amount of time between shots. So the only way that effectively you could clear a building like this was if you took it in turns. So one would shoot the first corner.
How about like this?
Would you still need to
Quick
bring it
question,
fully
hang
up
on.
to the aim, or can you just walk in at half aim?
To be honest, over this distance, I think you could hit pretty accurately anyway. But the intention is that you've conditioned yourself to shoot the spot even if there's no one there. And that's the key point. So you've got Peeker's advantage, i.e. you come around the corner before they see you,
Yeah.
and you're firing that shot as fast as you possibly can. You're going to kill the person there before they even get a single shot off. This is often where you hear people saying, "Oh, you were hacking in the game. How could you shoot me? I never saw you." It's just the way the games are built.
Right, see, if I don't have a Sten or a Bren, I would come into a building with my secondary weapon, with my pistol.
Yeah, totally valid. Makes it even easier. You can come in quite quickly then.
Because you get more shots off, you see, whereas with a rifle...
So if
got
I was
wait
clearing to the
reload
left,
bloody
it'd be-
thing.
Yeah. Double tap. That'd be...
And the more you practice, the better you get at how much you need to move your mouse to know to be in that spot. Also, you've got 5 shots and 4 corners. If you know someone's in there.
Yeah. 6 shots.
It's a good little thing to do just to practice, and it's a good habit to get into.
What game did you play semi-professionally?
Counter-Strike. It was actually Counter-Strike Source.
Counter-Strike Source, yep.
We used to train twice a week, and we used to have video games on a Sunday that was sent off for sort of refereeing.
Yep.
We were in the top 20 in Europe. And a lot of that was because the maps were all very, very fixed. We spent an awful lot of time training where grenades went, very, very, very precisely. So
Yep.
you'd get them to bounce and explode on the corner of a box or something like that because you knew someone would be there. Or to flash in a particular way that meant that you were obscuring some of your team so they didn't know where you were. And
Yep.
things like that. If you watch any of the esports, you see them playing, it's just like that.
You do realise that now you've told us that we are going to expect you to have more kills than everybody else put together.
Well,
Because you're a
see,
pro.
post-scripting, 1v1, I'd like to think I would win 80% of the time, which
Yeah.
is pretty high. But post-scriptum is, because it's so team-based, which is why I like it, it doesn't rely on your individual skills so much. So you can heavily stack the game in your favour, which is good. Another really important thing to point out is never look from the same window twice.
No.
This is something I when I'm sniping, I see people doing it all the time. Is they'll spot a sniper, and then they'll hide around the corner, and they'll just think, right, I'll just quietly just look out and look and look out and look out, and I've shot them even before I can see their eyes because I know where they are.
Yeah.
And also, a lot of these window frames you can shoot through.
Yeah. Force them to play a game of whack-a-mole.
Yeah, I think it's easier for people that have played sniper, because normally you're going to make a slight move after each shot that you take anyway. So if somebody's in a bit, I mean, if I'm in a building and I'm getting slaughtered, you know, a sniper's taking a shot at me, I'm not going to look out at the same place.
Yeah, absolutely. You should try and look at as many different windows as you can, and try and be unpredictable. Also, take random pot shots at windows. You know, they gets them thinking, oh, they don't know where I am, man. Which also then makes them relax a bit, and then you're more likely to slot them. because they think you're somewhere you're not, or they've heard a shot come from somewhere. Oh, he's in that window. They'll be zoomed right in, looking at that window, and they won't see the window 3 across because they're zoomed in so much, and you can slot them.
Yeah, because it was like
Again?
that training session we had a couple of weeks ago where I was the German. I had no idea where the section was, but I just took odd pot shots here, there, and everywhere, and they thought that I knew where they were.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, when you're in the armoured car.
Yeah, I had no idea where they were.
It also gives the illusion of more people. So if you saw a sniper, so now you know, don't look from the same window twice. You've worked out where they are. You've got your peeker's advantage. You can get your mouse lined up pretty much where you want it. You then go to a window that you know you're roughly lined up. Quickly pop out, slot them, drop back again. They'll never know where the bullet came from, which is quite good. Next thing. Should we go around? Let's go to the other side of this building a minute. Go around the back side of it again.
All right.
Something that's really interesting. This is just general psychology. 90% of people run round to the right in any situation.
Yeah, because
because
the D key is the index finger.
Also, your gun is on that side, so you're naturally leaning towards going this way round the corner, which is great. But that also means the enemy are also doing exactly the same thing. So they are effectively going around a building like this would be anti-clockwise. So if you're defending, you can instead of stacking your troops equally either side, you'd stack them more to the left-hand side than to the right-hand side because you're significantly expecting them to go that way. If you watched in all of the things we've done, if you're driving, running, whatever, if something goes wrong, people's natural reaction is to go around to the right, whatever it is.
Yeah, because last night when we were in the tank, there was a Panzer on the left-hand side of the building as we were looking at it, and then it went behind it. So we went over, we were expecting them to come out for the right-hand side, but they didn't.
Yeah.
They came out on our left, which would have been their right.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you know that, you can then mix it up. So sometimes you are going to be coming out to the right, sometimes you're going to come out to the left. But if you need to gamble on one or the other, always gamble on the being on the left.
It's a 50-50 shot, really, isn't it?
But you're getting a better than 50-50 chance of it being left than on the right. That's what I mean. You're stacking the odds in your favour. You could be wrong, but you're more likely to be right.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you've got to remember, a lot of the things we do are in a pressure situation. People aren't thinking clearly and rationally. You make very quick decisions, and your quick decisions will be on gut instinct, which will push you in a particular way. Okay, so next thing. I often see people doing exactly this like you did, Vasco.
Yep.
Which is up close to the corner. You should never stand close to the corner. I can't fire from here. You can hear me clicking.
No,
I can't fire.
I had to lean round the corner to reload.
Yeah.
You won't reload in that position.
This game works in a realism. So when you walk up close to something, it actually pushes your gun out the way and you can't fire.
Come back.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
So you should never stand close to a corner. You should always stand back from a corner. There's no
Question.
advantage to being close. Go ahead.
Can you go around the corner? Can you see my rifle sticking out from this position?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's it. So, but up in the aim, you can't.
And yet it lets you do it in front of a
if you
tree.
want-
It's weird, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it depends how it classifies the object.
Yeah.
If it's a solid object or not a solid object. It's part of the client-side rendering and server-side rendering. So if you're ever going around the corner, there's absolutely no reason to be close to it.
Yep.
Go around wide. You've got a much more fine, small movement. You can very accurately follow it. If you do watch any sort of competitive CSGO, you'll find that it looks like players have actually glued their cursor to the corners. They literally spend their entire time with their cursor right on the corner. So as soon as they see someone, they can fire, and they know they're in the right spot.
What's your
So it looks
view
like
on
it-
peaking?
It looks
On
like
the
it's
corner?
glowing. Sorry, go on, mate.
What's your view on peaking first and then going?
Yeah, I'm saying. I said earlier on, it's good to spot, but never take the shot. Always move back, get your cursor in just about the right spot, then peek out and take a shot. Because if you take that shot first time, chances are they've seen you from your first place. Then you've got to try and get close to them and aimed up on them, and they can see you. And the whole time they're in a position to take a shot on you before you can effectively get a shot off. So if you do spot something, quickly drop back again. Position yourself roughly where you think it's going to be. Pop out. Take the shot. That's why I see people leaning like this and going around corners. Again, you're defeating the object of doing that. You might as well just look around the corner normally.
Lean, shoot, back in, reload. Lean, shoot, back in, reload.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point of the lean mechanic.
Yeah.
Also, don't forget that you can actually crouch slightly. And look out. So if they're expecting you to be stood up, you crouch, look out, take the shot. Your head isn't going to be where they think it's going to be. In that 1v1 situation, it's all about trying to stack the odds in your favour. Okay.
Yep.
We're up in 30 minutes, but there's a few more bits I can go through if you want to keep going.
Yeah, please.
Next one, smoke. Smoke is rendered client side. What that means is where I see the smoke is where my computer thinks it sees it. Where you see the smoke is where your computer thinks it sees it, and they aren't necessarily the same. So if I give you an example, I'm going to drop some smoke here. So there we are. Right. I'm now going to travel through the smoke. Okay, I can't see you, I can't see you, I can't see you.
You're dying, you're nearly dead.
I died. Basically, there's a point where you can get through the smoke that when you're stood in the smoke, you can see the people, but they can't see you. Thank you.
No worries. Did you do? Just fix that.
So if I drop some smoke down again, and we will have a quick look and play at that. So I'll stand over here where you lot are. If someone wants to drop some smoke down. I forget how long it is before it's not poisonous. It's like 3 seconds or so. But if you want to go and stand behind the smoke and then come back through the smoke towards me, there's a point there where you'll be able to see me. And I can't see you. So I'm just moving this side a bit. So Bert, I can't see you where you are.
Can you heal me?
Yeah, on my way.
That kind of messed up.
Hang on, fixing. Hold still.
Yes, son.
In fact,
One done.
Yep.
Hang on, you're still showing injured.
Oh, can you hear me up?
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to just drop some smoke between us.
Oh, you're getting 2 medics at the one time, eh?
Yeah.
So wait for the
That's
smoke.
double the speed.
Okay, wait for it to start filling out, and now start walking towards me, and stop where you can see me.
Hang on. Now.
Yes, that didn't work as well as I said. Yes, I said bootneck. I can't see you.
Right, I can see you.
Yes, see, I can't see you
That's
Yeah.
my
from that
job.
position until it starts clearing.
Showing you're still bleeding.
So when you're throwing nade,
Hang
when
on.
you're throwing smoke, you have to be real careful where you throw it. Strictly speaking, from a military point of view, you should throw it directly on the enemy. That's the correct place because you've limited their visibility 360 degrees. However, a computer game, sometimes you can see through half of the smoke.
Mhm.
So if you throw it directly at their feet, there's a chance that if they take a couple of steps further forward, then they'll be able to see you, but you won't be able to see them. So actually what you want to do is drop it a little bit in front of them. Not much, just sort of 2 or 3 steps. Because that then means that they've then got to either walk through a good chunk of the smoke, in which case you've had the cover for what you need, or they're going to be taking damage. But you're still heavily limited their visibility, and they're never going to get a situation where they can see you, but you can't see them.
The thing I have noticed in this game with the hand smoke grenades, the smoke doesn't seem to last all that long.
No, it's not good. You have to be real careful with it. Yesterday we were practicing running and throwing a smoke so that it's fully lit by the time you reach it. It's a great skill to be able to have, because if you need to, say, cross a road or something, and you were all sprinting and you wanted to do it as fast as possible, you would want to try and, like, in an order. So if we demonstrate down the road down here, I'm going to run down the road in the direction that I'm looking, and I'm going to throw the smoke so that it starts to appear as I reach it as I'm running. If you run alongside me, you should be trying to throw your smoke delayed after me, sort of 4 or 5 steps, kind of in turn, because obviously you should be running in a line. And the intention is that we all hit the smokes as they form up, and the last person's got through before the first smoke's disappeared. I'll try and demonstrate it, but this isn't as easy as it looks.
Right, hang on, before you go. We run line abreast through the smoke.
No, you'd be in single file like you'd normally be with your normal sort of combat spacings.
Right.
We'd all start running. I would throw a smoke, then the second person would throw a smoke, and the intention is you don't hurt the first person, but the smokes appear as they reach it. At the very least, they'll get hit and everyone else runs through.
That's quite a high toss. All right, let's try that.
Right, so we'll just start
2,
running.
3, right, next.
So looking at that sort of distance. So here I am running towards it.
Yep.
Smoke pops. I don't take any damage. All the damage is gone by the time I reach there. Oh, a little bit too soon.
Damage on that one, sorry.
That's right. Yeah.
You two are taking damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really tricky to do. Sometimes it's better to start from the person behind, throwing forward. But the intention is that you're basically building a smoke screen as you run. And the beauty of doing this, if you practice it enough and you can get good at it in a squad, that you aren't going to hurt yourselves, then the enemy will see the smokes appearing and they'll have no idea where the players are. They won't realise that actually they're right at the end of the smoke. So they'll be looking at it thinking you're much, much further behind than where you actually are.
As a medic, I can tell you we've all taken damage. Hang on, the player is not hurt.
Yeah.
This player is hurt.
I'll do you, Vasco.
Yeah. Basically, my vision's going. Yep, turn green.
Done.
Happily. Hang on.
Anybody
I'll
else?
do myself a minute.
Yeah, but these white phosphorus are damn dangerous. We all took damage. By the time I'd thrown my grenade, it was enough to kill Bootneck when he went through. And as medic running behind you, I could see your health bars going down. The smoke was still toxic.
Another good one is actually throwing a nade for a corner and trying to hit there just after it's gone off. I'll try and demonstrate it again. A little bit out of practice.
We took 30% damage. Hang on. There's a bit of lag before it actually starts to apply the bandage. There you go.
Hello. No.
Okay, next test. Let's fill ourselves up with some grenades. This is where we start getting hurt. This game's called How Close Can You Stand to a Grenade?
About 15 meters
In the game or in real life?
in the game. Well, put it this way. This is the distance from here to that window we can throw, and a grenade, if it misses and drops down at the wall, we should be safe.
I'm talking about dying.
Dying?
How close can you get without dying?
No idea.
So I'll throw a
Grenades
grenade.
are funny beasties.
Yeah, so I'm going to throw a grenade. I'm going to bounce it off this wall, and there's a good chance it will bounce back to this white fence. So how far back from this fence can you stand without dying?
I reckon about here, 7 meters.
Okay,
Maybe not.
I'll go 8.
I'll be the
I'll
guinea
go
pig.
behind you just to see.
Anyway,
I'm alive.
You're wounded.
Wounded.
it's closer than you think, isn't it?
Wounded.
And I use that as my example of what's your minimum combat spacings. So the minimum distance you'd ever want between you and the person in front
Hold
is
still,
from
Miller.
me to that
Bleeding
fence.
out. There you go.
Only.
So when we're talking about training the
still-
troops up for what is your spacings, there's your spacings, because you don't want one nade to kill more than 2 people.
Is it Pascal I'm seeing?
About 7 meters. Hang on. Do it again. Player's not hurt. Bollocks.
Hold on.
Wow.
Come here.
Yep. So it's telling me he's not hurt.
healing. He's not healing though. It's showing he's hurt, but he's
I'll
not
move
healing.
away. We could have been healing each other.
Yeah.
There he
That's
goes.
it.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm okay.
Up on bandages.
Another interesting question for you Postscriptum veterans. How far can you run in a respawn timer? So if I hit respawn,
Yep.
say to an MSP, how far can you run in the same amount of time?
No idea.
It's going down.
It's actually 200 meters, or 2 of those squares. So if you're ever more than 200 meters away from where you're trying to get to, and there's a spawn point, it's faster to kill yourself and respawn there than it is to run. And the benefits of that is you're fully healed, you're fully stocked with ammo, and you're all together. If you run over, there's a good chance you'll be picked off, you'll get spread out, and you'll get all these problems. So this is a computer game. Lives are easy to get rid of and return. So if you need to travel more than 200 meters and there's an appropriate spawn, use the spawn.
There is an issue with that right now. They've cut the number of tickets. When the game's been running since beta, the number of tickets was 800. It was never an issue. They've halved it to 400, and now games are ending after the third objective is taken, simply because one side is running out. They're going to put it back up to 600, but you've got to be very aware that could cause if 9 of us did it 2 or 3 times, we just burned our way through 27 tickets.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's just come up. I've been keeping an eye on the Postscriptum forums.
User
But when
joined
you
your
hang
channel.
on, if you press tab, you'll notice blue number, red number either side of the timer. That's the number of tickets remaining to the side,
Ah,
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
and that has been 800 on both sides throughout the alpha and beta and release. They've only just reduced it to 400, and
So it's 200 a
basically
side.
people are screaming like crazy because the matches aren't completing because one side's taken so many casualties. So keep an eye on the ticket counters, because if we all do that and we're close to the end, we could end it for our team.
Yeah, that's worth knowing. I didn't know that. That's worth actually putting in your training in future, Vasco.
Yeah. Well, a lot of your techniques are actually going to be taught with regards to things like house clearing. We
Cool.
will now do grenade in and pop round the corner, lean out, fire twice into each corner. We'll try that and see if it works, because if we've got a German on the other side, did you see me when I shot you? No, never saw anything. That's exactly the type of confirmation we need.
Yeah. There was something I was going to point out as well. That often I've noticed that we tend to spend an awful lot of time stood in the same spot.
Yeah, not good.
Common computer game strategy is never stay still. If you watch someone like Shroud playing PUBG, probably one of the best players of just computer games in general, playing PUBG, a super popular game. If you watch his strategy and his ability to kill other people, Yes, he's incredible at aiming very, very quickly, but his strategy is also very, very good. He spends his entire time moving. If you're dancing around, even when you're standing still, no one's going to get a headshot on you. You're much less likely to get hit. So you shouldn't be stood around. Also, just as an example, I'm not saying it's always what happens, but in the last community match when we played, it all went wrong. We died right at the start. Okay, fine, that happens. We then followed the tank, and we all died again. And that was because we spent a long time sat still near that tank. They knew where the tank was, and we knew that they were going to be heading towards the tank, and yet we still stood all around the tank, which is a really easy place for them to come and find us and to pick us off quickly. And they did that. I mean, they almost wiped the squad again from that. We should never do that.
That's what I couldn't understand. I mean, because when Turnup said protect the tank, because I don't know if you remember, but I was over lying on a berm, because to me, I turned round and I saw everybody was right next to the tank, and I thought, what the hell are they doing?
Yeah, and it's just a case of keeping moving. So if we were heading in this direction, and we were heading over this wall, and someone started taking shots, what we should do is spread out.
Yep.
What we aren't very good at doing is spreading out. Everyone sort of comes up close to them and kind of sits on their shoulder.
Yeah.
And actually what they should be doing is half of them should be heading in this direction, and the other half should be heading in this direction. They should never stop and going, oh, where did we take fire from? Where are we going from? Pick a direction, head in that direction. It doesn't matter if it's one person heading one way and the rest of the squad heading the other. Split the squad. Because that then gives whoever is shooting at you 2 targets to start shooting at. So if it's a sniper, they're never going to cover both sides. One side's going to get to them first. If it's an MG gunner, again, they're never going to get to both sides. Something we don't do a great job of is attacking MG gunners when they're reloading. No one covers MGs when they're shooting. You get a load of shots fired off, everyone suppressed. That's when you go and hit them. Don't attempt to pick them off when they're shooting. There's a huge window there to pick them up.
I've never seen one.
Yeah, it doesn't happen
That's
very
it.
often.
The problem being is machine gunner who's doing it properly, 3 to 5 round bursts or slightly longer for MG42. There's a gap between bursts.
So you
And
don't
if that
know
gap
that it's
is
an
longer
MG.
than you expected, by the time you think, shit, he's reloading, he's halfway there.
Yeah.
So the burst fire actually hides the point of reload.
Yeah, I mean, plus if you keep it to 2 or 3 bursts, so as that people don't know that it's an automatic weapon, they think that it's just 2 or 3 people shooting at them.
The German machine guns have got a very distinctive report, and the speed gives it away. Not to mention a shitload of green tracer.
Ah, I haven't noticed
Yeah,
that.
you'll find if you look it out, the best MG42s have got to be in a good position simply because the moment they open fire, a shit ton of green streaks comes out, and you've just got to trace it back and go, there he is.
Well, normally when I
Stick a
hear an
mortar on
MG, normally when I hear an MG, I've got my head between my knees, being suppressed. So I don't know where the hell they are.
Good description, yeah. Shit, MG42. Plus, we found out that bullets actually pass through the top of berms.
Yeah.
You can't be anywhere near the top. You will take it. So if you're down at the bottom, say here, you may still get struck. But if you're halfway up it, there's no doubt you'll get struck. The 50 caliber seems to go through the top 6 inches of the berm like nobody's business.
Well, in reality, the top of the berm is thinner, so the soil's not as thick.
No, I had no objections when I got shot. I thought, shit, a bit of real world common sense wouldn't have gone amiss there.
It was
Again-
good. Can you hear me anyway? I've not actually spoke yet.
Yeah, no, we can hear you, Murphy.
Yeah. fine.
What they should add, like realism, if they're going for that, is the MG42 had to change barrels every 400 rounds, didn't they? So to add that in, because that would give you a chance to move.
Yeah. If it was
To be
a
honest-
full animated barrel change, that and the MG34, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
The question is, has he
Right.
stopped firing? Is he just between bursts? Is he reloading, or is that a barrel change?
because I mean,
You
take
get
a
that wrong. You're
take
already on
a
the way by the time he's changed mags.
take a Bren gun. Supposed to change the barrel every 20 mags.
Mhm.
So
to be honest, you should never get in that situation, because as soon as you take those hits and start getting suppressed, you should then be picking a direction and moving in it.
Yeah.
So you never stay where the suppression is, because if they've seen you, you know damn well they're sending people to you.
I can
Another-
back that up.
I can say
Horse
another.
gunner and coax gunner in a tank. I've seen German infantry sprint across an open field. I've got the range, and I just pile the shots through them, thinking they're actually going to run into them. They just ran straight past. And even trying to track them with the gun, very, very hard to hit them. When they're laying down and taking cover, it's a piece of piss, but on the move, virtually impossible to hit them. They're
Yeah.
moving.
And also, there's more than one, so it's difficult to pick a target. Yeah, in the wild, animals do this. It works. One thing I was going to say is something that's often forgotten about is a super powerful tactic is if you take cover to drop back, because there's a very high chance that a squad is going to come and look and chase wherever it was that they took the contact from. So if you head directly backwards and set up an ambush for them, often you can pick them off. It's rare that actually in that situation, normally people pick left or right, and dropping back is equally valid as well. And then wait for them to arrive, set up an ambush for them.
Yeah.
That's a great point, because everybody's fixed in this mindset of continually advancing towards the objective.
And actually, if you can bait a squad into you, wipe the squad, you know that you're clear, and you can then make a huge distance sprinting if you need to. And the last thing I was really going to talk about was never die for nothing. And what I mean by that is the information when you die is just as important as the fact that you died. Where people take a contact from, even if you can't be exactly sure where it is, you know if it's come from in front of you or behind you, and then passing that information on after you died is super useful.
Yep.
So even if you die and you think, oh, I didn't see them or didn't know where it's coming from, you can still give a rough idea of, I took a contact from in front of me or to the north or to the south, or, you know, it's very easy to look at the map and see where that's come from and say roughly in the north direction. And that's super useful. It's something when we're playing competitively, you always made sure that if you died, someone else also died. So if there was two of you, if one of you got shot and killed, you always made sure that you got shot and killed in a way that the person that shot and killed you would then also be killed. It's a different game. I mean, you've got 5 players, you can't respawn, so killing a player each doesn't make a huge difference, whereas in this, because you can respawn, it's not so important. But just certainly passing that information on. Super simple, super tight comms like you would normally do.
Not only that, do it before you respawn, because your marker is still on the map. So if you go, my marker grid reference, I was engaged by a machine gun fire at least 100 meters to the east of my location. Everybody can see where you are on the map. Yeah, we got it, which means he's here. Section commander can put a mark on the map where you describe and say, got it, you can respawn.
Yep. And that was all of my talking points covered.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much indeed, Miller.
Yeah, very good.
No, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's something a bit different.
Yeah, and it also means that we're going to be changing the training to actually reflect those techniques, especially on building clearance.
Who the hell's shooting?
That's me, sorry. Someone shot at me.
Oh.
But I mean, the beauty of this is these are all, most of these strategies are things that aren't game specific. So any first-person shooter game you're playing, you can take advantage of that and work on these things.
Yeah.
You know, not running when you're shooting. Drop some games. It's best to drop to the ground. You know, there's various different things. The last thing I was going to do is get people to have duels, because I've seen quite dueling back to back.
Oh yeah.
Pick a rifle, because actually I think I've seen an awful lot of times where people are putting many shots without actually hitting the other person, and I think that it's a good practice, just as a general sort of end of session thing, is to stand back to back and have a little competition to see who's the best dueler.
pistols or rifles?
Rifles.
Right.
Rifles specifically because you've got
Pete,
that
don't shoot the
pause between
Germans.
shots. Did you all remember to reload
No.
as soon as you spawn? You can test that now.
Yeah, I did. Pete, don't shoot the
You
Germans.
get an extra shot. Who wants to have a go at Julian?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, listen.
I'm going to have to respawn in as a rifleman. Hang on.
Right, we're back to back.
So we'll go back to back. Which way are you going? Yeah, you're going right. Someone needs to call go.
How many paces?
Doesn't matter. So who's going to be calling for us?
I'll fire a shot in the air and you turn around.
Yep, that sounds fine. So we say go and we'll start walking, and then you fire the shot when you feel like it's a good distance.
Alright. Go for it. Ooh.
Well done, son.
OT.
Right, let's have a go.
So who's up next?
I've
I'll
only
have-
got an MG42.
I'll have a go.
I'll duel you
Doesn't
with a
matter, take your pistol.
I'm going pistol next time.
Okay, which way? That's right, you're heading the right way now. Okay, ready to start walking? Go. Pretty good.
Got you in my last round there.
I did get confused about who I was shooting at, to be honest.
Oh, just stabbed him, he disappeared. Oh, there he is.
Okay.
One thing, can you check? I want to say, lay down. That's right. No, hang on. Don't patch him up.
Yeah.
Folks.
Oh, I just tabbed on, sorry.
No, player's unhurt. Can't do it now.
Yeah, sorry.
I had.
How about now, is he
Right,
alright?
try it.
No,
No,
he's
we
dead.
killed him, that's
not
dead.
correct.
Ah,
Right,
my
hang on.
bad.
User joined your
Let's
channel.
see.
That was a kill shot.
Nobby.
Shoot the recruit time.
Try and avoid the head if you're looking to wound.
I didn't actually aim, I just fired it at the general area.
Right, he's back. One of the things, I can't remember who it was. We had a casual game last night. And the medic was repairing me, and he goes, "I'll stay out of your way so you can cover us." And I had a face full of the medic's head. So I've no idea where the point of view was. He thought he was well off me repairing me, when he was actually obscuring my shot with the SMG.
Hmm.
So, quick one. If somebody could lay down, no need to shoot. No, I can't. You've got to be wounded.
I was going to say,
who
a nice little thing if you wanted to ever do practice of your training. This is a great site for it. If you kind of pick a spot in the middle here and just shoot targets, and the intention is you want to hit them as soon as they pop up. So you're going to need to knock a few down first. Obviously the machine
Right,
gun's
I'm
slightly
lying
better for
down.
doing this.
Okay, that's good. But the way I'm looking, you're just off to my left-hand side. Now you've moved straight in front of me. Where do you
I'm
think
to your
you are?
left-hand side.
But that's it. You're actually lying across me at the moment. So my viewpoint is different to where my body is.
Yeah, because if I go to lie,
Yeah.
I'm
But
lying
if I was-
beside
if I
you now.
shot the rifle, it would have. Well, my rifle was passing through
Yeah.
your ear, through your head.
weird.
The idea is to shoot them as fast as they pop up.
That thing is useless firing from the head. Really is. good.
So yeah, if you want to have a go with the machine gun and try and do the same. The machine gun's better to do because actually you get more shots. Because you're only practicing your aim training.
Well, yeah, it doesn't go as quick as it used to. Yeah, no, that's good.
Also, but just fire one bullet at a time. You'll find that you'll very quickly get used to turning quickly and finding targets.
It's alright. They're very internally, but basically having a joke strike because they haven't got a large corporate channel on Discord. Round magazine. It got his head in just in time.
Gold is at the time. Alright. I'm going to have to love you and leave you, gentlemen. So, thanks very much for tonight, Miller. Learned a lot.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Let me just go and give first aid to this one first. Was he dead? No. Bringing him back.
Absolutely brilliant session, Miller. Thank you very much indeed.
Really enjoyed it. Learnt a few things as well.
Anyone going to jump on an actual game? And
Yeah, I'm going to have to shoot off. So I'll